What's up there, Misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Of course, welcome back if you've been hanging out with your girl for a little bit. So this is the quality reading for fixed signs for Sagittarius season, your zodiac season guide and stuff. So I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm gonna bypass some of the usual spiel and just direct you to look over here in your corner, in this corner, and there's your disclaimer, okay? Adult language, I use it. Triggers happen. I'm just the messenger, okay? And of course, if you're looking for personals, head to that website on your screen, okay? So I do want to go ahead and mention to y'all, so I am going to be running a special on my website for a reading, maybe 2 readings, and knocking a nice little percentage off for the holiday, for Small Business Saturday, and of course Cyber Monday. So if you're looking to support a small business, independent business here, I would certainly appreciate your patronage if you are interested. So go ahead and stalk my website. I'm going to say this coming Friday through at least Monday, and look for those deals if you would like to take advantage of some of those, okay? So have a little patience with me as I am getting your cards out. So I am looking for the tipping point. That's a total of 7 cards. And I just kind of like them to flow out on their own versus me picking them out. So it does take just a moment to get all these partiers on the board. Alright, just need one more. I don't know about y'all, but I am personally very excited to be back in a fire sign season, and a mutable one at that. I usually do pretty well in mutable energy since I have quite a bit of it in my chart. So, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so it's looking like this is interesting. So I feel like mutables are almost not mutable signs, fixed signs. And so sorry about that. Maybe some of you are dealing with a mutable sign, which probably drives y'all crazy. Just saying. But so it's looking like some of you fixed signs, that there's a whole lot that you're gaining, but you still have to lose something in the process. And it's reminding me of one of the readings that I did for the last 30-day cycle, but I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Cancer. It might have been Cancer. Maybe even it was Leo. I'm not quite sure, but this is feeling a lot like that energy. I feel like for some of you, the gains are so significant that it's like what you're losing is a part of self that you had become so comfortable with being in that you're having a hard time kind of reconciling this change that's happening for you, okay? So, for example, best example I can come up with off the top of my head is like someone who's been in poverty, for example, for a large portion of their life, and then suddenly they win a lottery, and it's like, you know, 25 million or something like that, right? So this person has literally gone from $0 to $25 million, and the shock of having such a significant change could almost be in its own way a little bit of a like an ego death. Sometimes we can be stuck in situations, stuck's probably not the right word, but sometimes we can be in situations and we can be there for so long that we just kind of grow roots in that particular energy. So when things come through to really like shake things up and you know, change your situation, sometimes it can be a little bit discombobulating. So I'm seeing for some of you, even though you've got this gain coming through, you still feel like you're losing something, and the suggestion to you is to actually speak to someone. So a therapist, a counselor, someone that you trust, like that you inherently trust to share your deepest emotions with. I would suggest talking with them, because I do feel like this gain that you're getting, it may cause some whiplash, for lack of a better word, among people around you. And it's possible that this gain that you're getting is not, it's not coming to you in a traditional sense. So like, yeah, it's like your line of work, for example, may not be traditional in nature, okay? But there is a completion of a cycle here, and I feel like it looks good. You just kind of have to reconcile with the change in your situation now, okay? But things are looking solid. So the theme that you have the theme that you have, fixed signs, for Sagittarius season is love partnership. Okay, so that puts a twist on this. Excuse me. So for some of you, this gain may be family. So you could be getting with someone who already has a family. And it's such a large change from, for example, being on your own, being able to go to the bar whenever you want to, hang out with your friends whenever you want to now having to be accountable to someone. And that's a change that you might be having a hard time reconciling, okay, for some of you. It could also be that, like I was saying, either you or your partner are not in what are thought of as traditional lines of work, okay, and the list is too large for me to even list it, so use your discretion on that, okay? Yeah, so I really do, I feel like this is love coming in for you, and it's like this love that comes in for you closes a cycle. It closes a cycle of lack that you've had. You've got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is solid. Like, this is really solid. So that's basically kind of what I'm getting. Let's go ahead and look into your clarifiers and see. So I really want to know what this failure is that you feel like you have, and what this strife is. And I think we're probably going to call it there as far as clarifying goes, because everything else looks pretty self-explanatory to me, okay? Some of you may be entrepreneurs. Some of you may have just had a baby, actually. A little boy. What's this failure? Oh, that's like 9. I'm not doing that. Okay, we'll take these 2. Okay, so this is interesting. Like, for some of you, this failure is a relationship that did not come together. And I would say, if that's the case, this was a very significant partnership, and that's possibly, it's likely why you're taking this so hard, this split so difficult. It's almost like you came up or something like that, and you might have tried to bring that person with you, and in somehow the process, like, I don't know if like this person just was jealous of you, of the come up, or just argumentative, or maybe they even felt insecure about the fact that you leveled up, that it caused a fracture in this partnership, okay, for some of you. So that's 2 different storylines that have emerged, okay? So just to backtrack, for some of you, there's a love partnership that's coming in that's going to mark the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. Okay, and it's a solid partnership is what I'm seeing. It's a solid partnership. It could possibly just be a business partnership, but I feel like this is love. The two of you could be going into business together. It happens. Okay, and then the second storyline I'm getting is that for some of you, the failure and the reason that you may need to actually seek a therapist is because there was a union that did not come together. Okay, and that's got you feeling some kind of way. All right, because you put in a lot of effort and you really tried. I feel like if you're in that second storyline where this is a split in the partnership that's marking the end of a cycle, beginning of a new one, that it wasn't you. Like, it's that saying that it takes two people, two to tango, if you will. And I feel like there was just a lot of strife between you because the two of you, it's not even that you were necessarily not rocking at the same vibration or anything like that. I feel like what this was is just a difference in life goals is what this feels like, fixed signs. Like, the two of you just did not want the same things. And that happens. That happens, okay? Let's look a little bit more at the strife card. Some of you might have even chosen spirituality over a partnership, but I feel like that's a very small amount of people if that resonates with you. Okay, so yeah, and okay, so we've got the crone here, we've got the yellow dragon, so your personal power. Okay, and then we've got happiness. So I feel like this person may have brought quite a bit of stress to your life, and it's only in the fracture of this union and the separation of it. And again, I'm talking to storyline 2 here. It's only the fraction and the separation of this union and seeking out the therapist that you're going to experience the most constructive growth out of this. Okay, so I'm not saying that you have to go to a therapist, you have to go to a counselor, but it is your tipping point in this reading, so that is what is suggested for you, and what you will likely be sorting through over Sagittarius season. Okay, with the crone card coming out along with the golden dragon and the 10 of cups, what that's telling me is that you're gonna find that you're a lot happier without this person being around, but it's going to be really hard to have the perspective of that if you're not speaking to a counselor. So it's almost like this counselor, this therapist, whoever this person is going to have some type of additional insight for you to make this growth that you're going to go through during Sag season constructive. Now, I'm not saying that means you won't grow over Sagittarius season if you don't go see a therapist. You'll still do the growth, but it's almost like there's an exponential amount of growth that can occur if you go to some type of therapy or counseling. Okay, so let's look at your other cards. So the message that Spirit has for you for Sag season is Ocean of Emotion. That totally fits everything that I'm seeing here. It says, find a safe place to express your true feelings. All right, so Spirit is doubling down on this need to see a therapist, a counselor, even if this is just speaking with someone that you trust, with your innermost feelings, your innermost thoughts, okay? Go speak to this person, because again, this person, it's like they're a trigger for you in some way during Sagittarius season. Okay, it feels like this is going to be a maternal type figure, probably very watery. You might notice that their clothes are very like flowing, for example. This is likely going to be a water sign. It's a little weird to find out the astrological sign of like your counselor or therapist. I feel like that probably doesn't really come up, but if it does, your cue there is that this person is a water sign. Okay, so the lesson for you for Sagittarius season, this fits so freaking well, fixed signs. Like, Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Self-esteem. That's going with the golden dragon here. All right. You see the spider on there? That's I tend to call the spider grandmother, because of the story of spiders, the web they weave, you know, grandmother spider. Okay, so for some of you, this is almost being tapped by your spiritual team, you know, including your ancestors, are reminding you how powerful you are, where that power comes from, and remembering how to get back to that person that you once were. Because I do feel like in this particular partnership, and again, I'm talking to the second group specifically for this, it's something about this partnership that dimmed your light. Okay? And again, the fracture of this partnership, I feel like, is what is going to allow the sun to shine again. Like, think of it as this relationship was basically a seed for you. Okay, second group of fixed signs. All right, and you're in the soil, and you're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and you can't sprout because it's not being watered, because you're not being watered, right? You're not being cared for, you're not being emotionally invested in by this other person. Okay, and it's like, almost like, even if it rained around, even if there is emotional giving around, it's almost like there is a big tarp right on top of you, so you could feel the heat, but you didn't get any nourishment, you know, from the partnership. So maybe it was very sexual in nature, very hot and heavy, but there was just no emotion to the particular partnership. Okay, and the fracture of this partnership, it's like that's a rip that's taking place in this tarp that's over this little seed, and allows the water and the sun to get in, that allows the seed to germinate and to sprout. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on with a lot of you this particular season. The second storyline seems to be emerging a little bit stronger, so I'm feeling like that's probably going to resonate with more people. But again, for others of you who are in that first group, where this gain and the cycle completion comes from a love partnership, I feel like it's more you just needing to get better in touch with your emotions. Okay, either way, the suggestion for both groups is therapy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call that here. Thank you so much for joining me, Fixed Signs. I sincerely hope that these messages helped you. If they did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because there are more videos coming. Okay, so your peace is your power, and I'll see you next time. Bye.